How you doing, YouTube family? Day is Monday, June the 16th, 2025. Is your man Big D, and I am back with another one. I want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land that continue to show support to my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video. And in this video, we have a gentleman whose channel goes by the name of Ron Yates. And he, man, you know what? He posted a video that a lot of people in this country need to see. And I'm gonna go on ahead and let this brother cook, and I'll add my commentary along the way.
So, while most Americans were watching headlines overseas, Iran quietly issued a direct nuclear threat against the United States. And then, just hours later, an illegal immigrant previously deported was arrested in Los Angeles for throwing a Molotov cocktail at law enforcement officers. You heard that right, guys. A man who wasn't even supposed to be in this country just tried to murder U.S. police officers on our own streets while a
So that has always been one of my main questions. Now I get the premises that we definitely have to secure our borders, because there's no doubt in my mind that just just like you have people that cross the borders who allegedly want to have a, you know, want to turn their lives around. They came to America for America's resources and what have you. They just basically want to be here to to bring about a good living and good circumstances for their family. I get it. But unfortunately, you still are in the country illegally. And I understand that a lot of those immigrants are not bad people. They just want to change their circumstances. Although they still not trying to go, put in any paperwork to do it the legitimate way. But I also understand there's another sect of people that are not here for their well-being. They are here to cause chaos and to bring issues and problems to our land, to our soil, to our country. And these riots, that's just an example of what I'm getting at. That's right, family. Because of open borders, you can't sit up and tell me that there are not terrorists in our country. Terrorists have just waltzed their ass unaccounted for, uninhibited. They just waltzed their ass into our country. And not to mention the fact that we have Americans that have taken on the terroristic mindset. You have people that are from this country, born in this country, that hate this country. So it's no doubt in my mind that we are in a bad place nowadays. And I don't even know how you begin to get all these people out of our country. They've been just allowed to flow across the borders for years on end. So, now that now we got an administration that want to get them out. How do you get them out? Like this brother just said, there was a person that was deported and they came back into the country and tried to throw a Molotov cocktail at a law enforcement officer. So my question is, once you deport them and get them out, how you keep them out? That's the problem. And nobody can seem to come up with a solution.
foreign regime threatens to vaporize our bases abroad. Now, what if I told you this isn't just a coincidence? What if I told you guys that the chaos that you're seeing in our cities right now and the threats abroad are strategically aligned, and we're being lied to about both of them? So, in today's video, I'm going to show you how ICE, how DHS, and the US military are being deployed right now, not to stop riots, but to brace for something worse. Okay. We're just seeing the beginning of this, guys. We're going to expose what Mayor Karen Bass, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, and Governor Gavin Newsom of California did not tell you. Why President Trump is suddenly losing confidence in diplomacy, and unfortunately, the chilling truth about what Iran just moved in from China. Now, if you think America's safe right now, think again, guys, because while our leaders play politics, America is under attack. And by the end of today's video, you're going to see exactly how deep this thing goes. So let's get started. I want to start with what the media tried to downplay. What should have been breaking news in every household across this country, they try to downplay it. By the way, if you appreciate the daily news updates, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Because while people were distracted by staged sound bites and celebrity drama, Iran's defense minister looked the United States in the face and threatened war. Not just symbolic, not a drill. He said, and I quote, "If a conflict is imposed on us, all U.S. bases are within our reach, and we will boldly target them." That's not some saber rattling. That is a battlefield declaration, and this just came as nuclear negotiations were collapsing.
Now, family, did you hear that? I can't ever recall a time when Iran blatantly said, we don't give a F what y'all think. We gonna do what the hell we want to in our country. Man, I ain't tell you, I may be wrong, but I've been around for a long time, and I've never heard Iran speak so boldly against America. So that goes to show that there used to be a time that, man, countries feared America. They feared her prowessness. They feared her military. They feared her might, but not anymore. Not anymore. Iran just looked at America and said, you know what? We gonna do what the hell we want to do when we want to do it. And if you think that you gonna stop us, well, come on and bring it. Ain't nothing between us but an opportunity. So America has been getting weaker and weaker with every administration, every generation. And we Americans are so lulled into a false sense of security that we don't think it can happen to us. But look what's going on in the country. Man, our military is spread thin. They spread out all over the world. Then you got things going on with Russia and Ukraine. Then not to mention, we got these riots going on in our country that we had to deploy, our soldiers down to assist with that. Let me tell you something, family. Y'all better wake up, because if not, we will one day find how you look on the news and see how you got all this craziness and whatnot going in these other countries where everyday regular degular civilians got to take up arms. Listen, don't think that can't happen to our country. Don't think that it cannot happen to our country. And nobody is safe. Man, let me tell you something. Your next door neighbor might be a terrorist in a sleeper cell, waiting to be activated. And what's even crazier than that, you got Americans that have taken up the same mindset as some of these terroristic organizations.
Here's the kicker, guys. Iran did not stop there. They promised a proportionate response if attacked, which, coming from a regime that calls us the big Satan, that should raise every alarm. But it gets worse, because just 24 hours later, President Trump went public, and for the first time, he admitted he's no longer confident that we're going to reach a peaceful deal with Iran. Think about that, guys. The man who's known for cutting deals around the world just said Iran's tone has become dangerously aggressive and things have changed. Now, unfortunately, that's not even the part that should scare you. What should scare you is what happened right here at home the moment Iran made that threat. By the way, do you think America's big Satan, or is Iran big Satan? But before we get to what broke loose in Los Angeles, let's unpack why this is even happening now, because you're going to hear about Iran's ballistic missile stockpile and what they just brought in from China that has analysts warning they're preparing for something big. So stick with me, guys, because this is not just about what Iran says, this is about what they're about to do. So here's what most Americans have not been told. Just a few days ago, Iran placed a massive materials order with China. It's enough to manufacture up to 800 ballistic missiles. Think about it. At a time when they're threatening to wipe out US bases off the map, they're not sitting at the table negotiating peace, they're stockpiling weapons fast. And according to the sources that are very close to US and Israeli intelligence, this isn't about deterrence. This is about readiness. They're not trying to stop this thing, they're not trying to prevent this thing. They're buying ammonium percolate, a key propellant used in long range solid fuel missiles, the kind that essentially carries payloads thousands of miles away in silence until it's too late. So now you might be thinking, surely somebody's keeping them in check, right? Well, that brings us to the IAEA, the global nuclear watchdog, okay? So here's the problem though. They admitted just days ago they can't confirm anything. They say Iran has denied full access, and without that, the world is flying blind. Iran claims their program is civilian only, but at the same time, their supreme leader is openly saying, no one will tell us what we can and cannot do. We will enrich our uranium, and if we want nuclear warheads, we will get them. And get this, guys, experts say they now have enough enriched uranium at 60% that with just one more step, they are just one more step to 90%, and they could build up to 10 nuclear warheads. 10. Let me explain it plain and simple. Iran is not bluffing anymore. They are preparing for the unthinkable. And while that threat grows overseas, what just happened in Los Angeles, what just happened in LA proves that danger is already here. Because in just a moment, I'm going to share with you guys exactly how a previously deported illegal immigrant with a criminal record was caught on camera throwing firebombs at American officers in the streets of Los Angeles. And here's the worst part. He was supposed to be gone. Hoping things improve is not a plan, but calling Chapter is. Sharon Bertusik, she was dropped from her Medicaid. Chapter stepped in, got her a brand new plan with $0 premiums, zero meds, and co-pays slashed from $89 to $20. Link in the description down below, as well as her phone number down below. So, oh, and by the way, Chapter, actually not almost, he was
I had to
deported
fast forward
once.
it,
He's
family, because
back
I
in the
didn't want
country,
to
and he
have
got
y'all looking at
caught throwing a Molotov cocktail at ICE officers in Los Angeles. Think about it, guys. This man was not supposed to be here, but he was. And according to DHS, he wasn't just protesting. He was trying to kill federal agents. He's now facing attempted murder and felony arson charges. But you want to hear the kicker here, guys? This same individual had already been charged with DUI and grand larceny. He had a pretty extensive rap sheet, and yet somehow, miraculously, he found his way back into the border, back across the border, straight into the middle of a riot. So I have to ask the question nobody in legacy media will. How many more of these people who are just like him are here? And if one was bold enough to throw a firebomb at federal agents, what are others planning to do? Now, here's where it gets a little bit more twisted. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and her allies in the media claiming they had no idea ICE was operating that night. They said that they were caught off guard. But ICE Director Todd Lyons fired back immediately, saying that's a lie. ICE notified LAPD 48 hours in advance. They have the receipts, emails, records, proof. So why is LA Mayor Karen Bass lying? Why cover for chaos? That's not leadership. This is sabotage, guys. And it gets even more serious because for the first time ever, ICE agents were seen operating in LA under protection from the US military. That's right, guys. Soldiers walking the streets. Photos show National Guard and Pentagon assigned personnel providing security while ICE moved in.
listen, family, this is crazy. So they had to bring in the military to provide protection for law enforcement, for the federal law enforcement. What kind of that's just like if you got you got to bring in the military to protect your local police department because the community has done gotten so out of control. These people done took over where The police can't even do their job. They need protection. Man, family, we are in a sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. I'm gonna tell you, anybody out there who don't get an uneasy feeling in their gut, man, something wrong with you. Better wake up. All this stuff going on with all these celebrities and whatnot. Man, these are distractions designed to keep you lulled to sleep. And don't shit come to a sleeper but a dream. But unfortunately, if we keep going the way that we're going, this dream is going to quickly turn into a nightmare.
Ask yourself this now. If everything's so peaceful, like Newsom and Karen Bass claimed, why did ICE need military backup to make arrests in an American city? Now, of course, we need to dive into exactly how these leaders are just gaslighting the public, why DHS had to publicly call them out, and how this isn't just a local failure. This is a pattern of cover ups and denial in the highest levels. So let's talk about what should have been a bipartisan moment of clarity. Instead, what did we get? Oh, we got Governor Gavin Newsom, and Mayor Karen Bass stepping in front of cameras to say, oh, the National Guard's not needed. Everything's peaceful. Peaceful. ICE was dodging firebombs. Federal agents were being attacked with rocks, glass, and Molotov cocktails.
Peaceful. Family, did you just see that? Did you see all the damage to those police cars? Listen, when you have other Americans that are elected coming on these news feeds and saying that, oh, this shit is not, there's no problems. Everybody's being the people that's protesting are being peaceful. Family, I tell you, nowadays you are more you more um amped to get the truth from YouTube than you can get it from your own local news feed. Because all the local news feeds, they just use those to feed you propaganda and to keep you disillusioned. But family, you tell me if this look like a like this shit look peaceful. Man, this shit look like we over like this. LA look like damn Venezuela, like we in some damn foreign country. I mean, look at it, family.
In the streets of Los Angeles. This isn't just political spin, this is deception. And in the middle of it all, they tried to claim that ICE never warned them. But as we already discussed and exposed, ICE notified local authorities 2 days in advance. They followed the protocol, they came prepared, and yet our so called local leaders out there are acting shocked. It's not ignorance, guys, it's intentional. Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin didn't hold back either. In fact, she publicly called it what it was. It's a lie. And she made it clear that ICE will not back down. In fact, operations are ramping up. Her exact words, we picked up child rapists, child molesters, convicted arsonists, and we're just getting started. But let me tell you why this is even more dangerous than what it looks like. Because while these leaders posture for TV and they claim everything's under control, DHS had to bring the US military to shield agents from violence on US soil. That's not normal, guys. That's not routine. That's not peaceful. That is collapse level instability. And now here's the part they're not telling you. We're about to talk about why these two events, the nuclear threat bomb or the nuclear threat abroad and the firebomb attack here at home, happened in the same 48-hour window. And what federal agents are now quietly investigating behind the scenes, including who's funding this chaos. Now, here's where things get a little bit kind of scary because these two flashpoints didn't happen a week apart or a couple months apart or anything like that. They happened within hours of each other. Iran threatens nuclear war, saying they'll strike U.S. bases if talks fall apart. Then all of a sudden, a violent firebomb attack breaks out right here in Los Angeles. Same 48-hour window. Same moment that American people are distracted, divided, and exhausted. Now ask yourself, Is that just a coincidence? Or are we witnessing something way more coordinated and far more dangerous? Because DHS isn't ruling it out. In fact, they've already confirmed they're working with the FBI and the IRS to track the funding sources behind these protests. You see these riots, right? They're not your average spontaneous flash mobs. Agents have documented matching signs, matching flags, synchronized chants, and high tech coordination that, this is the kind of logistics that just don't happen by accident. You see what I'm saying? You see where we're going with this, right? Just like back in 2020, there are whispers that some of these protesters are being paid. Okay. And now, with the military involved, the federal government has no choice but to look deeper. Because let's be honest, guys, why is it that every time America faces a foreign threat, our cities erupt in chaos right behind it? Who's benefiting from this? Here's the scary part. Our enemies don't need to fire a single missile if they can just destabilize us from the inside. And what better way to do that than, through our own nation, through our own wide open borders? So this brings us to the next part here, right? What about our broken immigration system and now this soft underbelly of national security, like how ICE is trying to hold the line while being undermined by the very people sworn to protect us? Guys, let's stop pretending that this is about one riot or one missile threat. Let's be real. We're being set up right now. Do you feel set up? Because when you look at everything happening, look at Iran's nuclear escalation, look at the fire bombs in LA, right? Violent, illegal reentry, and weak local leadership. Then you realize we're not dealing with random chaos. What we're dealing with is an open invitation for foreign actors and criminals to exploit a system that's already broken. And that is what brings us to the southern border. So let me explain it very plainly so that everyone can understand this. The border is not just about immigration anymore, it's about infiltration. This firebomb suspect, he was deported. He had a seriously long rap sheet, and yet he got back in. Now apply that to every cartel runner, every trafficker, and every potential foreign operative crossing in plain sight. If even one of them is working with enemies like Iran, then the fuse has already been lit. But ICE is not backing down. In fact, officials just said, we're ramping up, we're coming, we're not asking permission anymore. And Trump, say what you want about Trump, say what you want about Trump's tone, but he warned us this would happen. Under his watch, borders were tighter, ICE was supported, diplomacy came with a credible threat of force. Now contrast that with what we've seen. Deportations reversed, open border rhetoric, foreign nationals re-entering, and cities like LA turned into soft targets. We're no longer talking about policy differences here. We're talking about survival. So I want to go ahead and tie everything together. These Iran threats, the street violence, the denial, the failure, and finally, the one question that nobody in Washington, D.C. is willing to answer. If this is not a coordinated attack on America, then what the hell is this? Now, here's the truth, guys. This wasn't just about a nuclear threat, and it wasn't just about a firebomb in Los Angeles. This is a pattern, and it's a pattern that we've actually seen before. Every time America hesitates, the enemies get bolder, and the chaos spreads from our borders to our streets. Foreign threats abroad, violence at home, weak leaders pretending it's all fine, it's all good, and federal agencies scrambling to plug holes in a sinking ship. But here's the question every American should be asking right now, and let me know if you are asking this question. How many more signs do we need before we admit what's really happening? Because when a foreign power threatens to nuke our bases, and the same weekend a criminal who never should have been in this country attacks federal agents with a Molotov cocktail, that's not just failure, that's collapse, that's infiltration. That's America being attacked from the inside out or the inside and out simultaneously. So what do? Well, here's what we don't do. We don't wait for CNN to tell us that it's real. We don't hope that somebody in Washington grows a pair of balls and actually does something. We don't just sit quietly while our cities burn and our enemies load their launchers. We wake up, we speak up, we get prepared, we get ready, okay? Because I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to warn you. You don't prepare when the attack happens. You got to prepare before it happens. It's kind of like buying insurance after the accident. Can't do that. I mean, you can, but they won't cover you. And so right now, we're clearly out of time. Here's your next step, though. Make sure you're following this channel because
Well, family, I'm going to stop the video right there. We have got to start paying attention. There has been chaos, turmoil, and basically just a divide in this country for years on end. And it seems to me that it's getting worse and worse and worse. Now, not only do we got to worry about enemies that are foreign, we got to worry about enemies that are domestic. We have people in this country who hate this country. And these people are siding and taking on the mindset of people that don't give a damn about them. Let me tell you something. I get it. I understand to be in a position where you are being ripped away from this country. But I also understand the fact that if you came here illegally anyway, if you're not supposed to be here anyway, and you've done nothing to justify why you should remain in this country, i.e., putting in doing some type of paperwork, filing some type of immigration process. Well, that just tell me that you're not here because you want to be a part of the country. You are here because what the country can offer you. And my thing is this: I would much rather see all the resources that our country have given to Americans, citizens that they're the ones that need it and deserve it, versus some people who just waltz across the border freely. And amongst those people are people just waiting to start bombing and causing all type of turmoil and chaos. We just destroying our communities from within. But family, what say you? What do you think about this? Do you think that this is just some BS and people just blowing things out of proportion? Or do you think that there may be some bullshit afoot? Well, family, always remember, more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.